That face look familiar to you, Steeler fans? That face look familiar? Well, it should, because that's the face that our dumbass, retarded head coach makes on the sideline every time the Steelers are in a big game. You know, when our backs are against the wall and it's an important game for us. That's the face he makes every time. Like he doesn't have a clue what he's doing on what he's doing on the sideline. Probably because he doesn't have a clue what he's doing on the sideline. 19-17, Bengals win it in week 18. We go from 10-3 to 10-7, and we are most likely going to get mollywopped by the Ravens in Baltimore next week. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad because I had no faith in this team going for I had no faith in this team going into tonight's game, and they proved me right. They proved me right. That should be absolutely impossible because making me eat a bowl of shit for my predictions is breathing. And don't let that score fool you either. Okay? This game was not as close as you thought it was. The Steelers were down double digits throughout most of the game, but the Bengals did everything in their power to hand this game to us, to say to us, here, Steelers, end our season on national TV tonight. And in typical Mike Tomlin Steelers fashion, they couldn't get it done. This team, my goodness. It's funny. I sat down here for the past couple weeks trashing the Bengals' playoff hopes. You want to know something? The Bengals deserve the playoffs way more than we do. The Bengals played like a team that was looking to clinch the 5th seed. You'd have thought it was the other way around. This team looked like a team that was just looking to end their season. Like I said, I'm not even mad, but I'm coming on here and I'm just talking about the game. Because this is exactly how I'm going to talk about the Steelers, okay? Until I see serious changes, until I see someone or until I see Art Biden II sell a stake with this franchise, give it to someone, and then that someone goes up to Mike Tomlin's face and fires him. Because let's see, the Steelers have collapsed in 2018. We have collapsed in 2019. We've collapsed in 2020. Didn't deserve the playoffs in 2021. Didn't deserve the playoffs in 2022. Sure as hell didn't deserve the playoffs last year. Oh yeah, by the way, last year was a collapse as well, and now we collapsed this year. 5 years out of the last 7, this franchise has collapsed in early winter, going into December. Oh, but Mike Tomlin has no losing seasons, though. Oh, Mike Tomlin. Oh, Mike Tomlin this, Mike Tomlin that. You Steeler fans that just sit back and give Tomlin pass after pass after pass after pass. You guys don't know anything about football. You really don't. It's not about not having losing seasons. It's about making playoff runs, and it's about competing for a Lombardi. Do you really believe that this team is going to go into Baltimore next week and beat the Ravens in the playoffs? Do you really think they are? I'd be surprised if the Ravens don't win by more than 14 next week. Anyway, getting on to this game. It was just pitiful all the way around. It was just absolutely pitiful. As usual, the defense, the defense had a lot of bad moments here and there, but they played well for the most part. But as usual, no pressure on Joe Burrow. I mean, that guy had all night to throw in the pocket, but of course, can't get any kind of pressure on him. We have stupid penalties as well. like Highsmith lining up off sides that negated that negated an end of possession for the Bengals. And then a defensive holding that negated another stop that the Steelers had on Corey Trice. More on him in a little bit. Defense came away with an interception, amazingly, thanks to Beanie Bishop. But that's about it. That's about it. Oh, yeah, Corey Trice. That hold that Corey Trice had, it negated a fumble that was caused on a pass rush by the Steelers that jarred the ball loose. Granted, Cincinnati recovered it, but it negated it. And that's just what I'm talking about. Mental mistakes, dumb errors. And that's why this team is not legit. That's why this team are frauds. And any fan that wants to comment down in my comments below and just goes like, well, you just have an axe to grind with this team. You're just too negative with this team. What do I have to be positive about? This team has lost 4 straight games, and the playoffs are next week. And the last team that we beat were the Browns, a team that is actively tanking, or they have actively tanked. Oh, and by the way, Cleveland, you can go blow a dick, okay? Don't give that sad, sorry-ass franchise up by Lake Erie any sort of satisfaction for the Ravens clinching the AFC North over us, all right? The Steelers did this to themselves because our coach doesn't care about anything but his job security and not having a losing season. That's all he cares about. You know, it's funny. I said that they're becoming that I'm going to give them the Pittsburgh Pirates treatment. It's funny because I'd actually argue the Steelers are worse than the Pirates at this point. I really would argue because at least you know what you're going to get with the Pirates. At least you know that they just fucking suck. What this team does is that they tease you. They get off to a great start. They seem to be turning a new leaf. And they get your hopes up. You know, it's kind of like when in cartoons or whatever, in westerns or whatever, when you see cowboys riding on horses, you know, they're dangling the carrot right in front of the horse. They're dangling it right in front of them. And that horse thinks that it's going to get the carrot every time. Nope, they pull the carrot away when they're done riding it. That's what the Steelers do to you. They're a tease. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You go from 24 points per game with Russell Wilson as your quarterback. And let's see, your high water mark of points scored in this losing streak has been 17. That was achieved twice. 17 points. So that's 34 right there. You scored 13 against Philly. That's 43. And then 10 against Kansas City. That's 53. 53 divided by 4. So you're averaging a little over 13 points a game during this losing streak. Do you really think this team is going to have any kind of faith going into Baltimore next week? Because if you think the Chargers are going to lose to the Raiders, you are just delusional. These are the same delusional Steeler fans that sat back and were like, well, the Browns can upset the Ravens. Yeah, while Baltimore's a 20-point favorite against them and they won by 25. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, maybe that's what Mike Tomlin's game plan was. Maybe his game plan was, oh, let's throw this one away because we want to get our revenge on the Ravens in the playoffs. Yeah, be careful what you wish for, Mike. You're not beating Baltimore. You are not beating Baltimore next week. How do you like that, Mike? You get to have your season ended in Baltimore against the team that you threw this game away against because you were looking forward to them. Let me tell you, like I said, we can sit down here and laugh at the Bengals playoff hopes all you want. Fact of the matter is the Bengals played despite them bungling it and despite them giving us opportunity after opportunity to win this game. Guess what? The Bengals played like they wanted a playoff spot. They played hard. They played like they wanted to play an extra week of football. Okay? They really did. Joe Burrow had an incredible opening drive that chewed up a ton of time. He was perfect on every single one of his passes. He dissected this defense in the early phases of the game because guess what? He knows that the Steelers are going to throw massive bull rushes against him, so that gives him a sweet opportunity to get rid of the ball as quickly as he can, and it allows him to survey and read and pick up on his reads a lot quicker. He's a smart quarterback. And the only thing that the Steelers could get, aside from a nice blitz by Patrick Queen and Alex Highsmith that hit Burrow, that caused him to fumble the ball, and a Beanie Bishop pick, that's it. That's all the defense did. That's really all they did. There was no pressure, hardly any pressure whatsoever. And whose bright idea was putting Corey Trice on Jamar Chase? Has Corey Trice proven that he's a good one-on-one guy, especially against Jamar Chase, who's chasing the Triple Crown? I mean, this team has no football sense. 3rd and 1, you're gonna chuck it up again. And by the way, Calvin Austin III, way to fumble a punt. Way to fumble a punt, buddy. That gave the Bengals great field position. Now, thankfully, that's what led to the Beanie Bishop pick. Thankfully, that's what led to it. But still, defense bailed you out big time. No wonder you're not our number 2 receiver. Oh, I take it back, CA3. You're number 2, all right. You're number 2 as in shit. How do you fumble a punt like that? Good God, man. And the only thing that we could come away with was a Najee Harris touchdown run that was a nice 13-play, 73-yard drive that chewed up 6.5 minutes. And then a touchdown pass to Pat Freiermuth. That's all the offense could come away with. That's it. This team is absolutely screwed. I have had it with this franchise. I have had it with this organization. They do not deserve my energy. They do not deserve my passion. Because like I said, until I see serious changes, they're getting the Pirates treatment from me. You want to act like the Pirates? I'm going to treat you like them. And this game confirmed it. The offseason this franchise had, changing the QB room completely, bringing in a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson, bringing in Justin Fields, going O-line heavy in the offseason, getting a new offensive coordinator, which, by the way, Arthur Smith is a terrible OC. Yes, I said it. His play calling absolutely sucked tonight. Stop freaking pitching it to Najee Harris. But no, let's keep pegging the square peg in the round hole, or whatever you want to call it. Let's keep doing that. Okay? Like I said, let's chuck up a home run pass on 3rd and 1 when all you need is a first down. Arthur Smith sucks. I've had it with this franchise. And now that I think about it, you know what? They showed a graphic. They showed a graphic at some point during the game, and it was talking about Mike Tomlin's playoff resume or his playoff career or whatever, says he started off 5-2 and won Super Bowl 43 with us. And then ever since then, 3-8, 5 straight losses. Now that I think about it, you want to know why the Steelers have been winning so often in the Tomlin era? Here's why. And it's the honest to God truth. We all know that Mike Tomlin was handed a Super Bowl caliber team, a championship team. We all know that's what he inherited. And then after that, he had the most elite offense in the league for 5 years with Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. And he could only muster 3 playoff wins with that. And it should only be 2. Okay? Should only be 2. So that's bad. And now the only reason the Steelers are winning games is because other teams continue to screw up. And they continue to mess up at pivotal moments, and we just so happen to be in the right place at the right time. And it's been on full display. Backed up into the playoffs in 2021, backed up into the playoffs last year, and now we did it again this year. We don't win because Mike Tomlin's a winner. We win because other teams mess up. And we just so happen to be able to punctuate off of it. Well, you didn't get so lucky tonight. Now, did you? How dare you play like that in front of those fans who paid a good amount of money, who pay their hard-earned money to go to that game in that crappy 20-degree weather in Pittsburgh in the snow and watch this atrocity on the field? How dare you play in front of your fans like that? Absolutely just give the middle finger to those hardworking citizens in Pittsburgh who took time out of their day. And that's another thing. Not even the fans that went to the game, too. The fans like myself, unfortunately, that sat down and watched it on TV. Fans that take time out of their day to watch this. And in most cases, time is more valuable than money. You can at least get money back. You can't get time back. What a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. All the offseason moves we made, all the headlines that we made, the draft that we had for what? The same record as last year. And it's going to be the same result in the playoffs too. But only this time, we get to lose to our biggest rival. There is no way the Chargers are losing. There is absolutely no way. Not even that it matters who we play next week. It don't matter if we play Houston. We ain't going to beat the Texans. We're sure as shit not beating Baltimore. And George Pickens, you can get out of here. George Pickens is a bitch. Yeah, I said it. Dude talks all that trash, runs his mouth at the fans, he chirps at everybody, and he doesn't even show up. 1 catch on the night for Pickens. 1. Including a crucial play on 3rd down that could have gotten us into field goal range despite everything the Steelers did wrong tonight to win the game. Despite everything that we did wrong, Pickens was left wide open on that 3rd down play, and Russ had him. But as usual, Pickens can't get his assignment right, reads the pass late, and he's not there to be able to make the catch. Get out. You know what, Pickens? Just get out of here. It's obvious you don't want to be a Steeler. It's obvious you don't want to be here. Get out of here. Take a receiver in the draft. Sign a receiver in the offseason. Do something. Pickens is completely selfish. He's a diva. He's a whiner. He's a fucking bitch. Probably because he takes after his bitch-ass head coach. What a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. There have been a lot of Steeler teams that have pissed me off because let me tell you, okay, out of the four teams that I'm a fan of, the Steelers, Pirates, Pens, and Bulls, okay, out of those four teams, the Steelers piss me off the most, and it is not even close. Okay? The Pirates just suck. And I've accepted the fact that they just suck. The Pens had an incredible run for the last 15 years or so. The Pens had a great run from 2007 to 2022, and now they're just stuck in a phase of not being bad enough to tank, but also not being good enough to compete. They're going to be in for some hard years. Ron Hextall did us dirty. But you know what? At least the Pens are a little bit competitive. And the Bulls, obviously outside of the Big Three era in the 90s, the Bulls have always been very up and down. They've made it close a couple of times. You never really know what to expect from them. This team should not be settling for just the bare minimum every year. That's not what the fan standard is. That's what our dumbass head coach's standard is, and that's what Art Biden's standard is. It's a disgrace. It's a complete disgrace. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. 21 minutes in. 21 minutes in. Made it this far, all the power in the world to you. If not, whatever. I don't care. This team pisses me off to no end, man. They really do. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a good one.